Last summer, I visited a country full of history. I'm sure most of you have heard of it. What country comes to mind when I say St. Patrick's Day, leprechauns, and castles? Here in the United States, we celebrate St. Patrick's Day, and oftentimes here, kiss me, I'm Irish, or if you find a leprechaun, he'll have a pot of gold. But I never imagined that I'd go on vacation to Ireland. On this vacation, I went on multiple tours and learned of the history of each location. I was even able to stay in a castle that was transformed into a hotel. I'm going to talk to you about my three favorite places that I visited: the Dromorland Castle, the Blarney Castle, and the Cliffs of Moher. First, I'm going to talk about the Cliffs of Moher. The Cliffs of Moher have been around for 302 million years and have both historic and scenic appeals. The cliffs stretch 8 miles along Wild Atlantic Way and are 702 feet tall. Although they are not the tallest cliffs in Ireland, they are the steepest, and have rock shelves where the acclaimed famous Atlantic puffins nest. Oftentimes, visitors will go on the Cliffs of Moher cruise to see the puffins nesting on these grassy shelves, where they are hidden away from predators. Visitors also come because of the history of the movies that have been filmed along the cliffs. Two of the most well-known movies are Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince and The Princess Bride. As my family walked the cliffs, we were able to see the location where Dumbledore apparated him and Harry in search of Horcruxes. We were also able to see O'Brien's Tower stationed at the cliffs that closely resembles a small castle. Which leads me to my next location, the Blarney Castle. The Blarney Castle is a medieval fortress in Cork, Ireland. Visitors are mainly drawn to the castle due to the Blarney Stone. What you do is you ascend the steps in hopes to kiss the stone and achieve the ability to speak with eloquence or receive the gift of the gab. While ascending the castle, you are able to look at some of the rooms that are still intact. Although they stand as bare rooms, there are drawn pictures to provide a visual of what they once were. Once you reach the stone, you lay on your back, you lean backwards, you grab onto these two railings, and you have to lower yourself down in a hole because the stone's on the opposite side of the wall. They actually have a spotter there because at this point, you're at the top of the castle, and if you were to fall through this hole, you would die because it's a pretty tall castle. But after you kiss the stone, you can say that you kissed the same stone as William Taft and Winston Churchill. The last place I want to discuss is Dromorland Castle, which now serves as a hotel. Dromorland Castle was the first 5-star hotel that I've ever stayed in, and has technically been around since 1022. While staying in this castle, they offer many activities that you can partake in. I decided that I wanted to partake in falconry and archery. With falconry, we walked up to the top of a hill where the trainer of the falcons waited eagerly, and she picked a falcon to take out that day, handed out gloves for all of us, and we went down into the woods, and she would walk around to each one of us and place food in our glove, and the falcon would sweep down and land on our gloves and interact with us. With archery, we also had a guide. He taught us how to properly stand, hold the bow, and draw back and shoot, and had us stand at different distances and aim at different targets. I wish that I could go on about more of the historic locations in Ireland, but I'm going to leave it at my favorite 3 locations that I visited: the Cliffs of Moher, the Blarney Castle, and the Dromorland Castle. I'm pleased to have been able to share facts on these locations involving movies filmed at the Cliffs of Moher, the kissing of the Blarney Stone, and falconry at Dromorland Castle. If you ever have the opportunity to research these locations, please do, or better yet, go visit Ireland. You'll find yourself traveling back in time.